revolución en América Latina. Let's go over here and tell you a little bit about Ella Fitzgerald. Ella was an incredible, so this area focuses on Ella Fitzgerald. And I'll tell you a little story about Ella. She got her start at a very young age at the Apollo Theater in New York. Have you heard of the Apollo Theater?
I heard it.
The Apollo Theater is a great place where African Americans have a chance to perform on stage to their peers. And depending on how their peers love you or like you, you win or lose a competition. So Ella was in this competition at the Apollo Theater. She was, I believe she was 16 years old at the time. She got her start there. She came out onto the stage, and she started out as a dancer. A lot of people don't know that Ella Fitzgerald really was a dancer originally.
Oh, so okay.
So as she's out on the Apollo Theater, she's getting ready to dance, and she gets nervous and freezes. Now, when you freeze on that stage at the Apollo, people start booing you. If you get booed off the stage, it's the most embarrassing thing you can probably ever imagine. Well, Ella starts to scream out a song. She starts to sing, and she starts to scat sing, and she sings tunes like a tisket, a tasket, a green and yellow basket, so-deedly-doo, wa-deedly-doo, sweet-be-de-blue-dee-doo. Everybody loved her. She ended up winning the competition that night and then realized, you know, maybe I should be a vocalist. So Ella Fitzgerald then became a vocalist for a great big band led by Chick Webb, a really famous drummer who unfortunately passed away at a very young age. When Chick Webb passed away, the musicians in the band embraced Ella so well, they loved her. They asked her to continue leading the band, and she did. And she became a significant women in jazz artist because she was one of the first business leaders in big bands. Yeah, so in addition to that, Ella was revered by many people. It was the great French artist, visual artist, Picasso, who took a liking to her. And Picasso created this piece in the likes of Ella Fitzgerald, and as his tribute to her. And so you see that now jazz has become a iconic music for people all over the world. And it's because of people like Ella Fitzgerald and Duke Ellington and Louis Armstrong that kind of made that happen. But she was really one of my favorite vocalists as well.
I like when she sang Autumn in New York.
Ah, right.
Oh my God, so peaceful.
And there's a great project that called Ella and Louis, a project with Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong together that is just a monumental recording that you have to check out as well. And this particular part of the exhibit really focuses on that, where you can see through time how certain kinds of artistic work has helped to shape how the music is represented, how the music is displayed. And there's a whole series of albums through Blue Note, Impulse, Verve Records that had these great photos that represented the artist in their real state. And so jazz also became a way of, it helped to sort of, not only people listened to the music, but they looked at the music. They looked at the artist and emulated the artist. Boy, Miles looks great in that suit and tie. I want to dress like that. It represented class. It represented class. It represented a sense of pride, and it represented style. And it also represented what was happening during the day in terms of the civil rights. So it's really a beautiful piece that pays respect to that.
Masih di dalam American Jazz Museum. Kali ini Greg mengajak saya ke salah satu ruangan yang menampilkan beberapa film hitam putih yang berisikan video musik para musisi-musisi jazz ternama pada zamannya. Pemilik dari film-film ini adalah John Baker. Ia merupakan seorang pengacara dan kolektor. Ia menyimpan sebanyak 5.000 judul film dari tahun 1927 hingga 1970.
These films here have been preserved, they've been digitized, they've been converted from 16mm to digital format. And we've created this exhibit space where people can see these films. They're great films. There's about 10,000 feet here on the floor, which is about 6 hours of viewing. And they represent 4 different levels of content. And then there's a piece called Big Bands. Now, we focus on big bands because big band is an important element of the development of the music. Big bands used to travel throughout the country, And there were different kinds of big bands, like territory big bands that would play in the Chitlin circuit. And the Chitlin circuit is like the soul circuit, the black circuit. They would go from one black town to another and play. And they would perform this great music. Groups like Chick Webb's big band, Fletcher Henderson's big band, Duke Ellington, Count Basie's big band. And the big bands were created because they provided a platform for swing music, which is a different style of music, of jazz. And it became a great backdrop for dance halls, where the big bands would play in the large halls with people dancing, like the ballroom dancing that you see today. Big bands became the backdrop for entertainment for that. Later on, with people like Duke Ellington, his band became more of a concert big band, where it went from the dance hall to the concert hall, like Carnegie Hall. And then another content we have is Duke Ellington. We pay tribute here to the great jazz artist Duke Ellington, who you've learned a little bit about. And I will tell you that these films contain several types of films. There's 3 types of films that are in our collection. There's films that are called soundies, and soundies are like music videos, but they're the first generation of music videos. See, a lot of people don't know that music videos have been around since 1920.
Okay, before we close it up, we close up our conversation, I want you to tell, is there any quote about jazz as a musician? You're a musician also, right? So do you have any quotes about jazz?
Sure.
Anything?
Well, a
tell us.
couple of interesting quotes about the music. I always say that, you know, jazz is America's gift to the world. Jazz was created by African Americans. It was created by us, but it was given to the world, and so it's enjoyed by everybody. So a great jazz quote from Duke Ellington is he used to tell people that they're beyond category, or that whatever they do needs to be beyond category, meaning way above and beyond good.
Okay.
And Duke Ellington was beyond category.
Beyond.
So we call him beyond category.
Beyond.
And he used to say this one thing in closing.
Yep.
Onward and upward.
Onward.
Onward and upward.
Onward.
Down the road and up.
Okay.
Always better, always improving. So I say to you then, the onward and upward.
Onward and upward. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. It was so great to visit with you. Good luck.